afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Sean, everybody. This afternoon, I have the pleasure of speaking with Jordan, who is a trans man. Thank you so much for joining me today, Jordan. I really appreciate you accepting my invite.
Of course.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So before I even ask my first question, I have to let you know that I think you're one strong individual. And the reason that I think that is because to share your story and your life online, that's strong to me because I mean, you're going to get people that love you, but you also got a lot of haters out there that'll find anything, even if it's not you being transgender, they will find something about you to tear you down. So I think you're strong to share your life with us online and let us know, walk us through your transition. We're actually seeing everything about you online. So not everything, but what you choose to share. So I think you're strong for doing that.
Yeah, of course. Mostly everything for the most part.
I love it. I'm here for it and I love it. So now, how old were you when you even felt that you were, I don't know if I'm correct in saying you were in the wrong body or was it a mental thing? Like, how old were you when you started to know you felt different?
I feel like I've always known, but I just never knew that there was a terminology for it. Like, I guess I thought the closest I could be to it was just being a stud. Like, I always knew that there was one for like males turning into females, but I didn't know that there was the same, a female could turn into a male. So I always just was kind of cool with the role of being, a lesbian and a stud for, as long as I could, up until, I seen like a little picture on Facebook, like a family picture, and it was two girls and the mom at the beach. And then it did like the same picture, like say like 20, 30 years later. And then one of the girls was a boy. And I was like, how the hell did that happen? And
Right.
then so I started scrolling through the comments and then I started reading. I was like, trans man, trans man. And I started looking it up. And I'm like, wow. I was like, it is something for me like that. So I started looking into it, hit up the LGBT center out here in Los Angeles, and just went through the whole process. They helped me do name change, gender change, everything.
Oh, that's what's up. I commend them. I mean, that there are, of course, I know, but in particular, this particular organization that helped you, I commend them as well because I can imagine going through that and like the struggle of going through that. And like you said, you didn't even know that trans men existed. Now, if I may ask, how old are you? Because in my time, like I'm 51. So
Mhm.
I definitely never even heard of transgender when I was coming up. Matter of fact, I didn't even
Yeah.
know gay was a thing. And when I did think of a gay woman, they had cigarette packs rolled up on their arm, and so
Yeah, like you
yeah,
give me like the old school.
yeah, so
But
I
no,
never even knew that gay, existed. I used to think that something was wrong with me. Like, why are you feeling this way? Why are you looking at women like there's something wrong? So how old are you? Because times have changed and you seem pretty young.
well, I'm 31. I'll
Okay.
be 32 the end of August. So
Okay.
91, baby.
Wow. So again, like even with that big difference in the times, you still never heard of a trans man.
Never until recently up to 2018. So I
Wow.
barely found out like the beginning of 2018 when did all the blood work in April and then got my first shot May 3rd.
Wow. So, okay, now when you were gay and you were just trying to live your life as a gay woman, how did
Mhm.
that affect you mentally? Like, did it constantly bother you and never went away? Because you at this time you don't know anything about a trans man, so you're just
Mhm.
living this life thinking you're gay. Did that affect you mentally? Did it wear on you?
A little bit because like I guess you could say I wasn't your average stud or some people use the term dyke. So
Right.
I wasn't your average stud or dyke.
Okay.
Like I would walk around sometimes with my strap on
Okay.
and stuff like that. And I don't know, I was more comfortable like that.
Right.
And then I don't know why I do that. And then, all my other, stud friends would be like, oh, I don't do that, like, and stuff like that. So,
Right.
maybe it's a little different. And then, I used to want like facial hair and stuff like that too. And so I thought, everybody thought that was kind of weird. And I was like, I don't know, I wouldn't mind just having facial hair and, still being a stud. And so a
Exactly.
lot of people thought that was kind of weird too.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I can understand you feeling like that because you're not knowing what to call it, but still, it's
yeah,
those behaviors of a trans man, like you, or the physical. You want the physical features of the man. I mean, you're wearing the strap, you want the facial hair, but you just don't know what to call it and how to put it into context. So I can
word.
understand that. But tell me when you first realized, okay, now I know what trans is. Like, what was the process that even got you to knowing there was a trans man? And how did that all get started?
So after I seen that picture on Facebook, I started looking it up more online and looking at pictures. And then, I seen like this, the famous one. I don't know how to really pronounce her name, but she's, I believe, Hispanic.
Okay.
And she was modeling for Calvin Klein and stuff as a trans man as well. So I was like, damn, I'm like, and I used to be a girl. So I'm like, there's something I gotta be able to do. I'm like, they can't be the only people being able to do this, so I gotta figure this out. And so I do have health insurance, but I do have it through, the county, basically. Like, the county Medicare, the free insurance.
Right.
And so I looked up like what accepts, that insurance so that way I can, see, go to that doctor and see what's going on.
Mhm.
So my primary was out here at first, where I stay at in Lancaster, California. And I looked up the nearest LGBT center that had all those resources, and they were in Hollywood. It's not too far, probably about 45 minutes from where I'm at.
Okay.
Like, I'm probably like 45, 50 minutes out from Los Angeles. So I'm like, that's not too bad.
Mhm.
So I called them up. I had to switch over my insurance to them. So that took a month. And then when April hit, I set up an appointment to see about hormone therapy. And so when I went in April, I want to say it's like April 25th or April 28th. It's one of those days. I went in to watch a video. They told me about the irreversible effects and stuff that would, happen being on testosterone and stuff that would go backwards if I stopped. Like, so I had to watch that video, and then they were like, okay, so are you sure you want, to go through with this? I was like, yeah.
Mhm.
Like, even though knowing like most of the stuff that was irreversible is like the throat, like, not like the throat, but like basically like my voice. Like if my voice dropped and got deep, and if I decided to stop, I'd always have a deep voice.
Wow.
Um, if male pattern baldness is in my family, like that'd be I can't change that back. Um, what else? Facial hair. I think I think that was about it. Most of the stuff that can't really be changed back with stopping it. And so like with stopping it, everything like as far as like muscles, like that could go back to the way of a woman. Fat, like like most men store fat in their stomach,
Mhm.
and then women store it in their hips. So the fat could go back the way it was supposed to go. Like it was a lot of different changes. Oh, and your clitoris grows, that wouldn't go back to,
Wow.
yeah. So like, and that was probably the first change I did notice on being on T. Like I wouldn't say immediately, probably like a couple days after, I would notice it was sensitive and irritated. But it basically it grows kind of like a Tootsie Roll to
Okay.
like a size Tootsie Roll, but it goes outwards. And so that was basically like my first change.
Mhm.
After that, I'll probably say my voice dropping, sweating a little bit more. And then out here, you have to be on hormones for like 6 months to a year to get top surgery.
Okay.
And so I actually got top surgery like 2 days before my 1 year anniversary on hormones.
Okay.
I was like, okay, so I got that May 1st, 2019.
Mhm.
And I had to go through classes for that. And I was just like, hey, I'm ready for it. I had to do like 2 group therapy sessions, learned a lot about it.
What are the group sessions about? Like, I do understand as far as like the psychological aspect and having to go to
Mhm.
therapy to make sure that this is what you really want and you actually know, all of it entails to make sure that the person's mind is right and they know what they're doing. But other than that, what were the classes? What were they about other than that? Was it all mental, or like
Uh,
teach what was physically going to change?
yeah, like some of it, like you said, most of it, like the second class was like mental, and the first was just basically like education. I only had to do like an hour, so it was like 30 minutes, 30 minutes. But it was like 30 minutes one Tuesday and then 30 minutes on Thursday, basically.
Okay.
And then they'll sign the letters and everything over to send over to insurance. But the first class basically just like education wise, like if you get a double, mastectomy, there's no way that if you change your mind, we can bring it, the breast tissue and stuff like that back. Like
Right.
it'll always be there, but they took out, basically the organs inside of it. So, you will never be able to have that again. And they were just kind of reassuring that, and
Okay.
the different type of processes where they have like the scars either underneath, or if yours are already kind of small, they just go around your areola
Okay.
and take the fat out that way. Like they're basically discussing each procedure, and which candidate would be good for which
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. That's funny. That makes sense because I've seen some. It just never dawned on me that when they cut underneath, I guess those would be young women that have larger breasts, and then for
Yeah,
a woman that has smaller breasts, they cut around the areola. Oh.
yeah. So they basically like go around the areola,
Mhm.
take that off, and then take the fat off like that. So it's like that's if you got like, I'll probably say like an A cup,
Right. Right. Wow. That
small A cup. And then they just regraft the nipple and then place it like how it would be on the male at the
okay.
time.
Right.
So I was hoping for that, but they were like, even they're like, even though yours are small, they were like, because I never really wore a bra, I used to always bind.
Right.
And so they were kind of like droopy a little bit. So they were like, you just gotta and get the tissue that's already like hanging a little bit, and
Okay.
not one bra.
So what is bonding?
So basically, well, binding is
I
where they have
okay.
the binder, like you would put the binder on to kind of compress your chest.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I know a lot of trans people that haven't been able to get top surgery. They actually, buy the binders online like I did. I think it was like $32 at the time. And just wear it to have more of a flat chest, to have more of that appearance of a male
Okay.
without, having, so that way you can kind of pass as a male with the
Absolutely.
flat chest.
Absolutely. I can understand that. Before you actually got the surgeries, how do the hormones tell me some differences you noticing besides the physical aspects? What are some of the other differences that you're noticing in yourself as you go along with taking hormones?
Very high sex drive. And
Wow.
it's crazy because as a stud, like I had a sex drive, but it's like I didn't crave it. Like
Right.
I feel like I could go a year without it.
Right.
And it's just like now it's kind of like every day I'm on a mission. Like
Like a teenager, man.
yeah, so it's like I'm on a mission, like
Right.
to
Damn.
like it's like over hypersexual in a
Exactly.
way I feel like.
Yeah.
And so it's been like that's something, even still being on hormones 5 years plus, I've been trying to learn the balance.
Wow. So it's still the
Still,
same. Now,
I,
do you have to be on hormones forever, or is that something that will stop at some point? Or are you forever going to have to be on hormones?
forever. If I
Okay.
want to keep like, well, because when I got my hysterectomy, I opted out and kept my ovaries
Okay.
because you do need some type of hormone in your body so
Okay.
that you don't go through menopause, of course. And like if you don't have any type of hormone, like say if I can't access my testosterone down the line, and I did a full hysterectomy and don't have any organs like that's producing any type of hormones, that's when your bones and stuff start to become brittle and break and stuff like that. So like after doing the education and learning that, I was like, I'll still just, keep some type of estrogen in my body a little bit, just in case I can't down the future, or I decide to opt out to taking T, have some type of hormone.
Wow. I never thought that. And that goes to show how important it is to educate yourself with every aspect of transitioning, because that wouldn't even have dawned on me. I would have thought, take everything out. But I see now,
Yeah,
but you explaining it to me, I see why that is something that I mean, to each his own, but I see why you chose to keep the ovaries. That makes sense. I just wouldn't have thought about that. So now when you started to when you started to feel this way and you got all the information and you know that this is an endeavor you're going to embark on, who did you tell? Like, did you tell family? Did you have mental support? Because I can imagine going through that alone. Did you
yeah,
have a good support team behind you?
yeah. Actually, like, because I have a girlfriend now, like, she's been with me through my whole bottom surgery process. She wasn't there through the top surgery because I was a different partner at the time,
Right.
but she's been there through the whole bottom surgery process. But then also my mom, like, when I did both surgeries, like the top surgery, she was there. She was scared, of course, because I guess like during the top surgery, that's the first one.
Yeah.
Um, she said at first I was unresponsive waking up, like they had a hard time waking me up. But I'm like, I'm so tiny. I guess they gave me too much anesthesia, and they had a hard time waking me up. And so she was scared that when I went to bottom surgery, because that's a 12-hour procedure that I got to do. Like each stage is 12. The first and second stage is 12 hours each. So
Oh,
that's
oh.
24 hours worth of surgery. Yeah.
And so the bottom would be done in stages.
Yeah. The bottom is done in like 3 stages.
Wow. And of course, any surgery is dangerous, but I'm assuming that that is more dangerous than, of
Yeah.
course.
To be under for 12 hours, that's a long time.
Did you have the bottom surgery yet?
Yes, I have.
So you've done all three stages of the bottom surgery. So
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So tell me, because I done heard there's a plastomy. Tell me the names. They're different ones.
Is phalloplasty. I always butcher the other one. Or with an M. Like I forgot how to
Up,
like.
y'all. If you want to know what it is, look it up for yourself. But it begins with an M.
It starts with an M. It's like medio something.
Okay.
But that with that one is basically like they take the growth that you already have
Mhm.
and basically extend it if you want urethral lengthening with the growth that you have that way. And you basically just keep all your
What did you say it was called? If you want who?
it I don't know how to pronounce the name. It
I'm
starts
gonna
with an
have to
M
look
though.
that up. I'm gonna have to look that up. Because you said, no, you said if you want to take the growth that you have.
Yeah, so that surgery is basically where you keep the growth that you've made from your clitoris
Okay.
on hormones and you just basically stay with your natural growth.
Okay.
And then they kind of, cut the hood so
Okay.
that way you can be able to kind of penetrate
Wow.
and be able to they do urethral lengthening as well that way so that way you can kind of stand the pee.
Wow. So if let's say with that particular surgery, okay, I heard you say it grows to like the size of a Tootsie Roll, and then they cut the hood off, of course. So if one just does it that way, do you feel that you can actually insert it into a woman and actually penetrate? Does it grow like that long where it'll actually go in where the woman would feel it? Do you
I
feel
mean, I believe sometimes
okay?
it does. Like
Depending on
before I
the
had
position.
surgery, of course I've experimented, but so of course I experimented. Like I'm on,
Right, right.
I mean, I know I could feel it. She
Okay,
probably I don't
exactly.
know. So I was like, I don't know if she was lying or not, but
I know, but I got a sensation. Shit.
yeah. So it's like I know I could feel it. So
Okay. Wow.
others may be able like with the release of the hood to where you can move it a little more and have more flexibility
Okay.
possible.
So now with the other one, okay, no, with that one, so that particular one where they just cut the hood off and you kind of use what it or with the hormones, what it's already grown to. So that's where they don't take any skin. There's no skin grafting dealing with that particular surgery.
Yeah, correct. There's no skin graft with that one.
Okay. Now then the other one, and you have the one where you use the skin graft, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about that one because I know you can either take it if I'm correct from your arm or your thigh or something.
Yeah, your arm, thigh. They got an abdominal one now, and one a process for I think from like back tissue as well.
Wow. So it's just changing. I mean, of course,
It's
medicine.
evolving a little bit, yeah.
Wow. So which one did you opt to do? And then tell me how that went.
I got the thigh, and I believe that's called the ALT. The arm is radial forearm flap. I don't even know how to pronounce the one I got, but
You know you got it. Hey, you
yeah. But I did opt out for the thigh because it's like I do DJ, and
okay.
so I was worried about the sensation being numb, you know, in my hands to be able to like scratch because they would have did it probably from like here, the top part here, to like downward,
Damn,
and would have took it like it would have wrapped all the way around. And plus, I got a lot of tattoos on my arm too, so I was like,
you ain't messing with my damn tattoos. I get it. So you
no.
did
But
the
the crazy part, even on my thigh, I still had a tattoo
okay.
on the graft that they took, and so basically on the top part of
Uh-huh. Your man.
uh,
Uh-huh.
it's basically a dragon head on the top part of it. Yeah.
Wow. Now, I mean that that's intriguing to me, honestly. So the skin actually stayed in the form that they cut it. So the tattoo is still there.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool though, man. I mean, thinking about it. So, okay, so with the surgery that you had, either one, whether it's the skin from the thigh or the arm, can you choose the size or how does that work?
They tell you I haven't seen any surgeon do over 7 inches because they said anything over that, you risk the chance of losing, what they created, the phallus, basically in their terms. Like the longer you try to get it, the more the tissue can die off because the blood flow may not reach that far down
Right,
to, towards the end to the point where, the skin and tissue is dying off.
exactly. That makes
So they
sense.
say safely from what they've done so far, lengthwise, they've done up to 7.
That's pretty good though. I mean, that's like an average. So I mean, that's pretty good. 7 inches, shit. And so when you get it done, the sensations, does it feel? I mean, of course, it's attached to you. Do you get testicles as well?
Yes.
So it's a full penis and testicles. So when you pee, do you pee the same as um a male that was born a male?
Yeah, they have two different ways though too.
Okay.
So they do have like people that don't want to do urethral lengthening because that's a process as well. Like some people like say like if you smoke or drink a lot and stuff prior to it, it's a lot of complications as far as like getting fistulas. And that's kind of where like when it heals, it closes up because they're, making it from your skin. So sometimes your skin will all the way heal. So it'll be open like this and then it'll heal close. And then you have to have emergency surgery again to open up open, that back up.
Right.
So that's why too, also for some months, you have to walk around with a catheter.
Okay. Okay.
So then that way, your body's getting used to this new stream way to use the bathroom. And then also, to try to give it time to kind of like close properly and heal the right way.
That is amazing to me.
And then the other way is where you keep your original opening and they just kind of have it like hidden behind your testicles.
Okay. All right, hold up. All right. So that you
They
keep your hold up now. Okay. So you would keep your original opening and they hide it behind your testicles. So
so
with
what I mean by that, I
yeah,
mean, because in order to get the testicles, they do a vaginectomy where they, basically close that canal, but
okay.
they'll keep the hole around where you urinate out of open,
Wow.
but like, small and basically invisible to, the human eye.
Hey,
But they'll keep that hole open, but close everything else. So you just still, you still sit to pee, but you'll still give off everything else like testicles and penis wise, like, as a male.
that
But some opt out for that because it's a lot, it's a lot less complications and
That makes sense. So
easy process.
that is now that one right there just hit me because I've never even that never even would have dawned on me. So you
Hmm.
everything else would be physically, you wouldn't even be able to tell, like you said. The only difference is that you would still have to sit down to urinate.
And
That
then it's not even like even when you go in the restroom. I mean, I can tell now because I'm trans. I didn't went through the whole process. So it's like if I notice another trans man, sitting on the toilet, I know. But
okay.
other males don't really notice.
Wow.
Like it's not like because I guess like all trans men have that thing. Like when we go to the restroom, like if a guy's like looking, like I wonder if they know. I wonder if they can clock me. They just go to the bathroom. There's not much talking, and then even like some of my cis friends like that go to the bathroom as well. They'll be funny and joke with me sometimes. Like, oh, which bathroom you going in? I'm going with you.
Right.
It's like I'm going with you. I can't. The way I'm looking now, if I go in the women's restroom, they're gonna look at me like, what are
Yeah,
you doing
man.
in here?
Ain't no way. Because let me tell you something. Not only do you look like a cis man, you're handsome as hell. So I mean,
They
you looking good, dude. You looking good.
like
So
I
that's
in there.
amazing.
They
That's amazing. So okay, with that being said, right there, does that ever? I know it's a joke, and they love you. You know what I'm saying? Some people think that's a joke, but does that ever bother you? Like, of course, you're a trans man, so you've already accepted that part. But does that bother you when somebody asks you, "All right, what bathroom you going in, man?" Because I mean, I'm not a woman.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like at that point, like even like when I went to Lovers and Friends out in Vegas, like the little concert festival, and met up with some friends out there as well. And I was with both like males and females, and then like, oh, I gotta go to the restroom. I go in there, with the boys. And then, at first he had asked the same question, like, oh, which restroom you going in? Like, I'm going with you.
Right.
Like,
Which is
I'm like,
kind
we're
of
at a
cool.
festival. Like all of these other people, like, even though you know me,
Yeah.
like, you've known me for years, you know me as a woman, and then, I know this is all a new process for you guys, seeing,
Yes.
because it's only been 5 years.
Right.
So it's like I know it's been a process, but it's like snap out of it by now. Like you seeing everything. I done went and did everything for you guys still to kind of present
Yeah. Because
that woman card.
Yeah, because I don't find that funny. Like clearly, if you walked in the women's bathroom, I would look, I mean, two, three, four times, and then ask you why you're in here. There is no, you don't
Exactly.
have any inclination that you were even a woman in the past. That would not have dawned on me. So I don't find it funny. So if anybody watches this, I don't find it funny. I mean, like I can understand slipping up every now and again because of people who knew you from the past, but certain things, come on now, and it's not a
Yeah,
joke. Like nobody's laughing. Like that's not cool because to me that can I'm not living that life no more. So that could mess with somebody mentally to me, in my opinion.
yeah. And
So
I feel like that's one thing too. Being trans, you really have to be like mentally
dude,
prepared. Like as far as even like surgery wise, hormone wise, like I already know if I argue with somebody, the first thing I already know. Because even as a stud, as a stud, you want to be man.
yeah,
You're dressed up. You're playing dress up. Now it's okay, girl.
exactly.
Okay, I already know when
Yeah.
arguments go down. That's the road that it's going down.
Kind of it's not even kind of, it's just fucked up, excuse my language.
Yeah, you get me?
It is because you're right about that. No matter what, people will hit low. It's not arguing about the issue at hand. They're going to hit low. And so I do believe, even with me being a gay woman, I mean, I have to be tough. I don't really encounter a lot of um, arguments, and I'm pretty sure you don't. And if
Hmm.
I get in one, I'm pretty sure a matter of fact, I have had somebody say that to me, a dude, but
Hmm.
but it really, brush it off. But then trans is a whole nother issue because you all have to be double tough,
Hmm.
I mean, because you're right. People are going to find some kind of way to
To
use.
try to hurt you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
because it's like as a stud, it's like, oh, you can't even feel it. And
Yep.
like I already had to go through that mentally, and then like, you know, we used to call ourselves studs, and then, you know, their terminology to disrespect it would be a dyke.
Of course.
And
Of course.
so I started calling myself a handsome dyke at the time. Like, you know, I'm gonna take a twist to what you're trying to do to make me feel bad,
Right.
to let you know that it's not affecting me in that way. So then that way you trying to call me that isn't effective. So you're gonna just stop, you know,
Yeah.
trying to do anything to nitpick at me in the first place.
And
Like,
it's
oh, you
messed
can
up.
feel it.
Yeah. I don't even like it. I don't even like that you had to do that because I'm just Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Regardless of all of that, I'm just Jordan and I'm just trying to live my life and be my authentic self. And that's why I said that I think you're a strong man because it's not, and you share your life, you know. So again, if people that know you use that to their advantage and during an argument, then just imagine what the world would do with you actually letting people know, hey, I'm trans, you know, and you're doing it. You don't have no shame in who you are. I mean, you're clearly sharing your life with everybody. So I find that shit strong as hell, you know, and I just feel like you shouldn't have to downplay shit about who you are to nobody, even with, you know, like you said, I'm calling myself a handsome dyke because people use that in a derogatory way. So
yeah,
now
and try to
I'm
make
going
it
to use it for my
negative.
own self. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get me before you even get me. And I hate that.
Mhm.
I hate that
That
people.
we have to feel and think that way.
Absolutely. I hate it. I hate it. So I'm glad that you know, are at a point where you're walking in your truth and it don't matter what nobody else think. I'm happy because I mean,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, gay and trans, but I just feel, you know, a little something different for trans, you know, you would off yourself because I mean, I'm really not happy and I'm not living. So like, did you ever have that? It don't seem like you did, but did you ever have those types of thoughts? Oh yeah.
Like, it's crazy that you even say that because I went, like, so my girl said you don't really live a LGBT type of life. So I'm listening to her and I'm like, all right, let me try to connect more, you know, with my people. Because she said I just live kind of like a normal straight life. Like I just hang out, like, you know, with my homeboys, you know, homegirls, and, you know, I just keep it kind of pushing.
Mhm.
And it's because mostly like when I would hang out with, you know, like still like studs and lesbians being trans, they would even try to throw those derogatory remarks. Like, oh, like,
I believe you.
you think you're a man now? Like, you went and did too much. Like this, like, you know, I'm already hearing it. Like, and these are from people like I used to be mutually cool with,
Exactly.
and then we got into a disagreement, and then now it's like, oh, you can't fight me, you're a man now, this and all of that stuff. So
People go everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand it. And all I'm trying to do is live a happy life. Like I'm not even focused on you. I'm just trying to live my best life. And honestly, I'm not saying don't identify with the LGBTQ plus ABCD. You know,
yeah,
I'm
G.
I'm not saying don't, you know, identify with the letters, but I'm just Jordan. Like I'm just trying to be Jordan. Like I'm identifying as Jordan. And to
Yeah,
me,
and it's like, you know, I still do like events, like especially like all Pride Month. Like I got an event out here in Bakersfield. I'm doing a big Pride in August out here. Like it's like, you know, it's a lot of stuff I still do,
good.
but it's like I went on this TV show,
Mhm.
and it was called LGBTQ Baddies. Like, you know, so I was like, all right, you know, like let me see what, you know, this is about.
Yeah,
Cause it's like I knew, like I said, like a lot of, you know, studs and, you know, lesbians prior to me becoming a trans man. And a lot of them were on the show as well.
okay.
And so they were saying it was the type of show where there wasn't going to be any fighting or anything. Like, you know, we're all just, you know, sharing each other's experience.
Right.
Go on there. They got me boxing a gay dude.
That's messed up.
And then so it's like, of course, you know, that's my first time ever fighting a cis male.
Exactly. Right.
So you give me like I didn't do the best of my ability. Of course, I didn't win, but
Right.
it's like I felt better about myself knowing that at least that I held my own. At least, like, you know, I didn't hit the pavement or nothing like that. But in a way, like I felt like they kind of try to exploit me.
Of course. And you know they did. It's no kind of. You
Hmm.
know, your thoughts are your thoughts and they're valid. That's
And
you
so like I felt like after they got that type of the footage that they needed, they of course they sent like all the trans people home because there was two other trans people on there. They were trans women, and so it's like I felt like after they got all the footage that they needed, like doing stuff like that, they sent everybody home and kept all the lesbians and the studs.
that's messed up. That's real messed up. So whoever watches this and you know that you're part of that, that's really messed up. Tell everybody where they can follow you, all of your social media and information. Listen, y'all, follow him. He's doing big things. You heard you heard him say that he's a DJ. So are you available for all parties? You travel?
I'm available, yeah, everywhere.
Oh, that's
So I'm
what's
like, I got a big Pride event in Long Beach, August 5th and 6th. Maya should be performing on that Sunday on the 6th of August. So, I'll be opening up for her, cool little R&B legend. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not sure who they have on the main stage either on that the 5th on the day before that, but it's pretty lit. Like,
that
hey,
is.
um, but you can follow me at, that's why they was outside the whole time. Then I let them in, then they get to cutting up.
Of course.
You can follow me at Jizzle the DJ, JIZZLE THE on basically everything. Instagram. I think my TikTok is the Trans Goat Jizzle
Okay.
all together. Jizzle the Trans Goat or something like that on TikTok. Yeah,
That's what's
I'm
up.
everywhere. I'm spreading trans awareness, letting everybody know. I'm also a victim of gun violence due to being transgender. Yeah, I got shot in the neck, back, and shoulder. So, I'm advocating for that as well. Trying to bring awareness and let everybody know still, be strong, be you, be comfortable being, whatever you desire to be in life. And don't let nothing tear you down or stop you.
As you're doing, because I mean, you just threw that little tidbit in there. You know that, man. So I mean, he is a walking example of everything he's saying. That I mean, that's a walking case of strength. So I mean, I'm glad you're still with us, and y'all please live and let live. Let's spread more love. God damn, I didn't know that happened to you. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, that actually happened like I want to say like 3 or 4 months into my transition, like when
Man,
yeah, I went to
that's
go DJ. Yeah, I went to go DJ. It's a whole like they were trying to mess with some underage girl. I went and said something like, "Oh, you think you're a dude? You want to be one of us so bad?" And it just escalated. And I ended up, getting shot in the neck and got the scar.
man, I see that.
So
Still with us. I mean, you already know that. I mean, you're meant to be here and you got a lot more to share with the world.
yeah,
So
that's like I'm not sure my purpose yet, but God still got me here for a reason. So
you know
I
it.
ask Him every day for guidance and they let me know what my purpose is and what I'm supposed to do. So
That's what's up. And you're already doing a piece of it by sharing yourself with the world, letting others know that they too can do this, can be their authentic self and live life on their terms. So you're doing it, and like I said, you have an ally in me. I got your back all the way. You have my support, man. Now, I
I
got one
appreciate
last,
it.
of course, you're welcome. And I got one last question for you before I let you go.
Okay.
You promised to spread peace and love in this world.
Of course.
All right.
Every day.
I love it. And I believe it. You're doing it. I see you online. You're being seen and heard. And I want you to know, keep doing what you're doing. Do not stop. And you're already living in your purpose. It's just going to enhance from here on out.
Amen to that. I believe that. It was a pleasure.
Oh, yeah, same here.